And we are back.
You're back listening to the amazing 102.5 FM C.H.A.M.P Veteran Community Chat. And I'm Kayla Alix here with my co host.
Sam Alix.
All right. And our guest is Eli Perez. So, Eli, you were kind of talking about some steps and others that are going through their discovery of wanting to transition out of their old ways and old habits into positive habits. And so we talked about, connecting to some support groups and some of the things that they can do and tools that they can use to help them in their walk of recovery. Anything else that you want to add to that?
I would say, so for me, it was, I needed recovery services. So if that's your problem, get help first. There is, sometimes it's hard to find resources, but they are out there. So get clean first.
Yeah.
If it's not, and once you do that, then you can tackle other things.
Yeah.
You could, so I'd recommend that. And if you're just a veteran struggling with some mental health issues,
that was my next point.
Get plugged in. Get plugged in. Get help, therapy. Meet some other veterans, peer support services. Get plugged into a good group, but you got to get out of the isolation.
Yeah, I noticed that with a lot of veterans that are dealing with the mental health side, right? And so they're isolated, and oftentimes they are prideful, right? And so the pride, oh, I'm good, I don't need anything, I'm not having mental health or PTSD moment, or that hypervigilant or that isolation. I'm good. But others see you and they're like, no, bruh, or no, sis, you're not good. Yeah. And so being honest with yourself to really say, hey, I am, if someone outside of me is seeing that, then maybe I need to get with my peer support.
That's a good point, Kayla, because Eli said something very profound earlier. He said being around men or getting around folks that are positive. That's my spin on it. And so that is so important, finding good groups that we have in the community. And what I love about the VA, for our veteran listeners out there, regardless of your discharge status, you can walk into the VA and they will still see you for mental health, especially crisis. Mm-hmm. And so that's why veteran listeners out there, or listeners that have veterans in their family or their support platform, if you get the veteran to the VA, they will see them regardless of their veteran status. Because I've talked to veterans who said, I was dishonorably discharged or less than honorable. Mm-hmm. I don't even consider myself a veteran. Yeah. If you need mental health support, go to the VA. They will see you.
And also the crisis hotline, correct?
988.
Mm-hmm.
988.
And now there's so many resources out there that, for instance, I work with the Family Service Center. They cover all counties, but specifically the one in Galveston, I give them a call today because I have a veteran that is getting discharged to our area, and he has either other than honorable or dishonorable discharge, and a lot of times that will stop a veteran from being eligible for services. But this HEROES program, it's a counseling program, and they just need you to verify that you're a veteran.
Yeah.
And so I said to say that there are a lot of resources out there. You just have to do a little bit of research.
What's that number to the one that you just mentioned? We'll let you, as you find.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Okay, great.
But go ahead.
No, great. I think that's so good because oftentimes you'll hear that, and it's a deterrent or barrier for services.
Yeah. So this is the number to the Family Service Center HEROES program. It's 409-762-8636.
One more time.
409-762-8636.
Okay, great. So regardless of your status, you can be seen, heard, and go from there. And we're also finding that character of discharge was impacted by maybe some type of event in the military. Mm-hmm. So sometimes they can be upgraded. We've seen that where discharge went from dishonorable or less than honorable to a higher or better status. So that sometimes you can look into that as well.
Yes.
So how can people reach you, Eli, at MVPN?
So let me just kind of close the loop, come 360, like you said.
Yes.
So I found the Military Veteran Peer Network, MVPN, through the Gulf Coast Center, but I started volunteering, and so I say to veterans or anybody struggling, do something, volunteer, give to the community.
Yes.
And through that you find yourself. I've made so many connections, and I've grown so much through just volunteering and trying to give back to the community and giving back what was so freely given to me.
You've been instrumental for us. I mean, just here recently, your work has blessed us as an organization, for you thinking about us. And so for that, we are very appreciative. And give it back. So you've mentioned several tools, man. Being around other folks that are doing positive things. You talked about volunteering. You talked about self-reflection versus basically kicking the can down the road or pointing the finger. Looking at, what's the common denominator, as my psychologist used to say. Who's the common denominator, she would tell the group of guys. So what's another on your path?
I would say physical activities has been big for me.
That's another tool.
But all these things I didn't know. I had to learn from somebody else. So and these are all things that I take from recovery. So it's kind of funny. My friends are out, or anybody who's in recovery is gonna be like, "Oh, I heard that in a meeting," but
I love it.
But I learned how to get high from somebody else. Somebody had to tell me how to do that.
That's right.
And now somebody's got to teach me how to stay clean.
Amen.
And so find you someone that can teach you, give you some suggestions, and take those suggestions. And so, man, recovery is not a cookie cutter process. So I can't say what will work for somebody. I can only tell you what worked for me.
Yes, sir.
But definitely physical activity, seeking out therapy, whether it be through the inside the VA and outside the VA, psychiatry. If medication is what's suggested for you, maybe try it out. I'm not a doctor, but some people do need medication. Some people don't. Sometimes that is a path to take that can be very helpful. Spiritual. Find you. I was telling because I do a group also in Galveston, a recovery men's group at my church. But I was telling a guy that was at church with me, and they were announcing all the activities going on in church. I said, you need to be signed up for every single activity that they're announcing. I don't care what it is, who it's for.
Yes, sir.
When I had to fill my time up with
the doors of the church open.
Man, anything that people say, hey, we need people to show up, or we're gonna have a potluck or a function, whatever. Man, I was there.
Yes.
I was there.
I remember that. Man.
One thing I love about St. John's, every Sunday, without a beat, our pastors, they acknowledge how many days.
That's right, 30, 60, 90.
Someone has been clean.
Amen.
Going through their recovery. And they come every Sunday through Pathway to Serenity.
Shout out to Pathway to Serenity, Mr. and Mrs. Owen.
Yes, the Owens. So they bring them in. So their employees, they'll bring them in, with the van, and they'll come. And there are some who complete the program and gone on to do great things, but they still come. And so there's some, they're recognized every year. There's some 30 years, 40 years clean.
The alumni.
Yes. And I love how the church just rally around them and love them and show them love. And that's important with your recovery too, right?
Yes.
Because I believe, I haven't walked that walk, but I think just human nature, just human how God made us, when you are celebrated, when you are walking the right path, it's amazing, of how you how and it makes you want to continue to do that. But as we wrap up, I want to say thank you, Eli.
Thank you
for coming on the show today.
Thank you, our last of the year.
Yes.
So fitting.
Yes. And one other thing I forgot to mention earlier today, I want to do a special shout out to my sorority sister, Nayeli Inoa. She, in her class, her art class, they created Christmas cards.
They did.
For all the veterans.
They did.
And specialized them specific for
what
them.
grade? What grade level?
So they're 5th and 6th, I believe.
Yeah.
They're 5th and 6th. And some of the art was phenomenal, and some were, the beginner stage. But
I still have
message,
mine in my vehicle right now. So I should have brought it in.
Yeah, she wanted to know who got the Mary Vetmas.
That might be mine.
I think it was yours.
That might be mine.
I told her.
I think it's in the car if I haven't took it out.
Yeah, I told her. I said, I think that Eli Perez.
Yeah.
She asked me the other night when we had class. So
send me a picture of it.
I will.
And then when we come back in January 2025, that'll be did you know this is the
Mary Vetmas? And so
big shout out.
A big shout out. It touched their hearts so much. And so she said that they have a special treat for y'all for Valentine's. So
that's wonderful.
Yes.
So they've adopted our vets.
Yes,
I love that.
They have.
And what's cool is, that's the future generation. If you can get them to start showing honor at such a young age, because we always hear the negative about kids. Man, we have some great, phenomenal kids in our country and our community.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to all the students out there from elementary through college that are doing the right thing, that oftentimes is not talked about, only the negatives, but we have some amazing folks, young people out there.
So to all of our listeners, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we see you in the new year right here on C.H.A.M.P Veteran Community Chat. We are on 102.5 FM, hosted by
The Bread of Life.
See you January 8th.
God bless. Take care.